Make it make sense. Jefferson Ham. Why are we doing this? Why we got this? I put it over there. Good morning, everybody. I'm working on a camera setup. Hold on a second. Skip. That's better, right? Your phone bill's due. We know. It's probably super expensive now. Do not disturb me. Do not disturb me. Woohoo! Hello. Hi. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? I'm on Jefferson's setup over here, so I'm hoping it's good. I've put the comments over here. You guys can't see this. Maybe you can. Hold on. This is how I have the setup right now. Camera on the tall screen. Screen goes up and down, not like this. It's Jefferson's way of doing things, so we're working on it. Yep, we can hear you. We can hear you and we can see you. Oh yeah. I feel like I'm looking down. That's fine. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Rosanna. Let's welcome back. Let's welcome Randy back by hitting the like sign. Yeah, I'm going to try to move this over. Ooh, that's maybe too much. I don't know. Let's see if I got all my business. Yeah, I do. Why is this playing an old video of me? Okay, YouTube doing weirdness. I don't know. YouTube's doing weirdness. Hi, welcome in. If I look like I have been doing stuff and things, it's because I've been doing stuff and things. And this is how I look today. We're just going with this. Hello, good morning. I feel like I'm like leaning way over. And I don't like that. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. I didn't sleep very well last night due to itching and pain. Oh, yes. Rosanna had her knee surgery. I'm sorry about your itching and your soreness. Pain. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Heather. Heather, so I heard you were texting me. Here's the thing. I packed up the bat phone. Not thinking. I got a new bat phone. I gave my old bat phone to Amber. It's a whole thing. Lots has happened. There's lots of for us to cover today. There was police. There was some of you know about the police. I had to text. There was police. There's moving people. There was broken phones. There was a birthday party. There was a runaway cat. 2 runaway cats. It's the whole thing. So we have lots to discuss. I hope you brought coffee. Good morning. I'm glad everybody's back. Hi, Coral. Good morning. Dwayne? Is that Dwayne? Hi. Beating friends. Good morning, Debbie. Sorry, these comments are really small and my eyeballs are like, what's going on? Hello, Debbie. She says she hopes the move was smooth. Well, I mean, it was as smooth as it can be. We're still doing it. I still have none of my stuff in the house right now, in the apartment, which I'm going to show you. Hi, Lois. Good morning, Mary. Good morning. Good morning, Beth. Waiting to hear about the moving adventures. Oh, and it rained the whole time. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Tina. Hello. Oh, Kimmy's on. Hi, Kimmy. Hi, Cindy. Sydney. Sorry. Have you been able to get a little bit of rest? No. Hi, Charlie. Good morning. Hi, Heather. I need all the details. There was a DUI. Things have been happening. Things happen when Randy has time, okay? You gotta look out for that. Hi, Lisa. Good morning. Oh my goodness. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. So okay. So for those of you who are just joining us and you're like, what is happening with all this craziness and this hairdo? I moved. So I've been gone. The website has been on, it's been on pause. There, you've been able to order, but shipping hasn't gone out. We've got things and stuff. So I basically took like a week off of work and packed up my whole 4-bedroom house. And then I did not get it all packed up. But first I'll tell you about the pulleys, okay? We'll have a little story about the pulleys. So I started packing up. I moved from Minnesota to North Dakota. So I started packing up. And I wanted to make a donation to the Epilepsy Foundation. So the Epilepsy Foundation sent out this little flyer in the mail. And they said, hey, did you want to give us your donations? And if you do, go online, make a reservation, and we'll swing by your house. Make sure you got everything out on the corner. 7:30, somewhere, at 7:30 in the morning. Attach this card to your things so we know that it's for us. I said, okay, great. So I got online and I made a little reservation and they said, okay, we're going to come on this day. Make sure to have your things boxed up, bagged up, and outside. And these are the things we take and these are the things we don't take. And I said, okay, great. So I had a whole bunch of stuff and I was like, all right, I'm just going to put that out there and they're going to come and get it. Nope, that's not what happened. So what had happened was I put the stuff out on the curb and it got to be about 1 in the afternoon and it said that they were going to come. They said, make sure you have your stuff out there at 7:30 and we'll pick it up somewhere between 7:30 in the morning and dusk. We're doing all the pickups in town, all around town. So, whatever. I said, okay. Good morning, PK. So, yeah, Beth got the video. I sent the video to Beth. I'm like, look at this guy just throwing stuff in the yard. Okay. So what happened is I look out the window and there's about 6 vehicles stopped on the road. Now this is a road that you don't stop on. It doesn't say no parking, but there's like nowhere for people to go. And it's one of the main, we lived on one of the main roads, right? So there's 6 vehicles stopped and there's people in my yard going through all my stuff. Which, it's fine. You put it on the curb. They want to take some stuff. Whatever. It's fine, right? But, however, there was a lot of people. And just about that time, I saw the epilepsy pickup man was circling the block trying to find a place to stop. So he stops. He finally stops. And I seen him. He gets out of the truck and he goes up to these people. And I went out on the porch and these people were resource guarding the stuff. They were like, you can't have this stuff. This is our stuff. You can't have it. And they're going through, so they start panicking and they're going through my bags. I had these big black construction bags of big black trash bags. And they're just flinging stuff out of the bag, just like this, into the yard, just over the head, just going. This one man was just going crazy. And and there's literally 6 people. And this guy comes to the door and he's like, ma'am, he's like, I'm not gonna fight these people for this donation. He's like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I can't. And I'm like, hey. So I went out there and I was yelling at these people and they're just totally ignoring me. So I went inside and then the epilepsy truck man left. And then I called the cops and I was like, hey, there's a bunch of people in my yard going through my stuff. I tell them what happened. I said, I'm trying to make this donation to the Epilepsy Foundation. The stuff is marked EF for Epilepsy Foundation, on the boxes. And I was like, and I understand it's on the curb, but whatever. So they said, okay, well, we're going to send an officer, but there's a thing going on right now. So it's going to be about 20 minutes. And I said, well, that's fine. So I just went in the house, and these people went through, and they were taking all this stuff, which, again, is fine. The problem is that they were blocking the epilepsy man from coming and getting the stuff. And then I was going to have to deal with the stuff that they didn't want to take, which was the whole point in me donating it to the Epilepsy Foundation. So it gets better. So I'm thinking, okay, they're going to send an officer. So I just ignore it. And then pretty soon, these people, I went out there and I was like, look, you guys got to leave. I called the dispatch for the Epilepsy Foundation. She said she'd send the truck back around. I said, okay, the officer's going to be here. So she said, okay. So it worked out pretty close where 2 officers came. I was in the house. I looked out the window. There's 2 officers. They're talking to somebody. I'm like, oh, this is a new guy. I don't know who this guy is. He's new. Him and his wife had pulled up in their car. They're blocking my driveway with their car. And he's out digging through all the stuff. Okay, so I'm like, so I go talk to the officer, and he's like, is this the guy who was doing this? I said, no, this is a new guy. I don't know who this guy is. This guy's fine, because they were kind of harassing that guy. That guy was getting mouthy. He had his video out, and he was telling them all kinds of things to the police, and I was just like, that's not a good plan for you, but okay. So his wife was in the car. Hi! Good morning, Jefferson. So his wife was in the car. Jefferson loves my tapestry. We're going to talk about the tapestry momentarily. I'm telling my story about the police. So I told the cop, no, this is not that guy. That's a different guy. I have a video of that guy. It's not this guy. He says, okay. So the epilepsy man comes back. He's got his friend. Him and his friend pop out of the truck. They're like, we want to get in and get out as soon as possible. They're taking stuff. And the cops were still there, and this guy was still there telling the cops that he was going to take all the stuff. And they were like, no. So anyways, then he says, excuse me, sir, have you been drinking? Well, turns out that guy was drunk. So epilepsy man took what he could, and he left everything that he couldn't take, he said, and whatever. He was probably just like, these people are crazy. And this guy got a DUI, and he got arrested, and he was going to go to jail. But his car was blocking my driveway. So they asked the wife, can you move the car out of the way from the driveway? And she was like, no, I don't have a driver's license. And so they pushed it, like, over by our trees. And then this wife sat in the car for 4 hours out in front of my house while her husband was trying to get out of jail. And it was like super hot, and she had no air conditioning, and she was just sitting there, and I was just like, this lady's going to try to retaliate against me. I just know it. She didn't. To her benefit, she did not, because it was her husband's choice to be being drunk, driving around in the morning time. I don't know. So anyways, that is how I was trying to donate to the Epilepsy Foundation, and then I still had to load all the stuff that they left up into my van and take it to the Shalom shop after all was said and done anyways. So that was like Friday. Good morning! This is my tapestry. Actually, this is Jefferson's tapestry. It goes, let me zoom out. Oh, my light turned off. Things are getting weird. She was probably drunk too. I don't know. They didn't take her to jail, but I was just like, stay in your car, lady. Don't do anything crazy. How big it is. So, this is where I'm going to put my desk. So, this is going to be the backdrop for my desk. My desk is going to be like right here, this way. So, when we're live, you guys will be looking at this tapestry, right? So, it'll be like here will be my desk, my big desk. However, I want to put my desk here, and then I want to put my shipping table directly on the other side of it, which should line up with Jeff's table, which should come out here, so he'll have like a cubicle. I don't know if I'm going to like that. We're about to find out about it. I'll tell you that much for free. Okay, so, anywho, so that's what was going on with the cops and the DUI and all that. Yeah. So that was Friday. And then I was packing up. What else happened? On Wednesday, I went out to Amber's birthday. And I gave Amber her painting. I think I shared some pictures of the painting in the group. So she was all really happy about that. And then I was only out there for a little while for her birthday party because her van broke down. Oh my gosh, Amber was going through it. So a bunch of rocks fell on her head, gave her a concussion. She had to go to the hospital in the middle of the night while she was asleep. Then her van completely broke down, undrivable. She had to go get a new vehicle. Then her cake, she was going to make her own birthday cake, which I was like, don't make your own birthday cake. That's crazy. And she was like, no, I got a new recipe and it's meringue. Well, it was humid on meringue day. And so there's no cake. So we didn't have any cake. What did we have? I think we had just fruit and whipped cream is what we had. I don't even remember. And I was just like, well, good morning, Natalie. What a crazy story. Thank you. Heading to work. Okay, have a good day at work. Yeah, so Amber was going through it. And then, Mr. Bunsen ran away. Mr. Bunsen and Winter. What was that? Is that the day before? The day before the move. So when the truck guys came, no, it was my mom. Okay, so my mom drove from Montana, swung into Bismarck in North Dakota, picked up Jeff on Friday, drove him to Cambridge. So when they got there, Lily was really excited because, Lily used to be my mom's dog. So when she came in the house, Lily busted the door down in the back and came into the house, and I wasn't paying attention because I'm like, oh, hi, blah, blah, blah. And the cats got outside because the little gate wasn't shut because they were playing in the basement since it was all empty and everything. So I'm like, blah, 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 we're talking, and I was like, she was like, where are the cats? And I was like, they must be upstairs. And then I was like, oh, I bet you they got outside. And it was dark, of course. And so I went out the back door and I was like, Winter. And I saw her two little eyes way in the very back of the yard. Like they were technically she was in the neighbor's yard. She was way back there. And I was like, uh-oh. Because first of all, Winter's never been out. Bunsen's been out maybe once or two. He's been out maybe twice and had gotten left out overnight because he refused to come back. Like in our whole life. So I'm like, oh. So I was really watching Winter and they were coming in through, I was calling her, and she was coming in through Jason's yard, our neighbor on the side. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be able to grab her. So I was watching her and I was able to grab her and I went and put her in the house and I came back and Bunsen was gone. And I'm like, oh. So we looked and looked for Bunsen, couldn't find him. I was freaking out, crying. Jeff was driving around in the van. And I was just freaking out. And I'm just like, I'm not leaving here. I was like, you better hope this cat comes back because I'm not leaving here until he's back. Because Randy just goes into hysterics about my animals. And Jeff was like, it's okay. He'll come back in the morning. He always comes back in the morning. He's not going to miss breakfast. And I was like, I hope so. So in the morning, I got up and I went out there. I didn't see him. And I said, Mr. Bunsen. And he was in the garden and he popped up, seeing his little head. And then he was like, meow. I was like, come here. So I was walking over towards him and then he was caught in the tomato things. The tomato thing you put over the tomatoes so they can grow, whatever those things are called. So we had like a stack of them laying in the garden and he was inside of there. So that happened. So we got Mr. Bunsen back. Never a dull moment. I know, right? Good morning. In a cage. Yeah, like a tomato cage. We had a stack of them in the garden and he wasn't in there all night. He was on top of Jeff's pallets where he kept all his trees. And he jumped down, and when he jumped down, he tried to come, and then he got into the tomato cages. I don't know, because he's a crazy person. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So anyways, I got all my animals back, so that was good. And then the moving guys come the next day, and it took them 3.5 hours to load up all the things that I had packed. But the upstairs bedroom wasn't completely packed. The upstairs bathroom wasn't packed at all. Neither was the downstairs bathroom and the kitchen area. There was like some stuff left. But me and Jeff were packing all of that while they were packing other things into the truck. So we got the biggest U-Haul truck they have, which is 26 feet long. I don't know how tall it is. I'm sure Jeff knows. But it's like 26 feet long. And that thing was packed to the brim. The whole thing, like, and they were Tetrising it in there. And, like, with all my totes, I must have had, I don't know, 60 totes. And I have things labeled for, like, the apartment and things labeled for the storage. So we put all the apartment things in first because we wanted to make sure we got those. And then whatever could fit for the storage, we put in the back. So today, the moving guys are supposed to come at noon on this side. So that was the Cambridge moving guys. They loaded everything up. They were really great, and really fast. And now the guys from this side are supposed to unload it, but they got to unload in 2 spots. So Jeff drove the truck to his work, and he has it in, like, he locked it up in, like, the gated parking lot or whatever. And so they're going to meet over there today. And then Jefferson is so sweet, as he is, just the sweetest. So I was telling him, you got to rent a storage unit, right? So he did that, and he was like, we were looking at this one down the way from the apartment. And then he sent me when he rented it, he sent me a picture of this different storage unit, and he was like, no, I rented from this place. And I was like, oh, is it cheaper or something? And he was like, no, but it's around the corner from the shop, from his work. So he's like, if you need anything, you can just call me, and then I can go there and pick it up, and then you don't ever have to go pick things up yourself. And I'm like, oh, look at you being sweet. So, some crazy things are going on. I know, right, Mary? I have to get a warmer upper shot, and I have to go way far away to do it. So hold on, I'll be right back. Lily's in here laying on the blankets. You may notice that I am also in the master bedroom. Jefferson is letting Thunderhorse Descendant have the master bedroom at the apartment, and we are in the little bedroom. Oh, of course Jefferson is so sweet. Yeah, I know. Have to get a coffee pot for the bedroom. For sure. He can be an honorary Steve. So then, my mom drove Jeff up there, and so I called her, and I was like, hey, do you want to stay on Saturday night, or are you going to leave Saturday? Because if you're going to stay, you're going to have to rent a hotel room, because these guys are going to pack up your bed, right? Because they're coming in the morning to do packing. So she's like, no, I'll probably just leave Saturday. And I was like, all right, well, she didn't. So then she said, oh, I think I want to have a room. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, there's a place here in Cambridge. So we call over there. Every hotel room from Cambridge to St. Cloud was completely booked. Every hotel. And I'm just like, what is going on? So she ended up having to go stay in St. Cloud, which is like an hour away. And I was like, well, she's like, I'll probably just go home from there, tomorrow, whatever. Because we were going to do, like, swimming and, do the sauna together and, like, hang out on Saturday night. But that didn't happen. So that was kind of that. Then the movers came. And then we decided to pack up the rest of some stuff. So the house still has stuff. Not a lot of stuff, but still stuff. So we have to go back next weekend to finish that. Sounds like a good housewarming gift. A coffee pot. Good morning. Welcome back. Thank you, Dorothy. My bargain bead box came in the mail. Remember, Rosanna kept saying, did you change your address for the bargain bead box? And I kept saying, no, I'm going to do that. And then proceeded to not do that at all. It came in the mail yesterday, day before. So I have it. It's packed somewhere. I don't know where. I think it's in the van. I think it's in the van. But I do have it. So there's that. We have that at the very least. We can dig that out, see what's going on with that. Not today, but you know, at some point. Oh, and then it rained. So it rained when we drove out. So we drove out yesterday. So we actually left Sunday. Jeff left earlier than me because he said he had to come home and get some things. Like he wanted to move his desk in here so that I could do the coffee show in the morning. And he wanted to like do some other stuff. So he left like a couple hours earlier than me. And then I got here kind of late. I think it was like 6 or 7 or something. I don't know. I tried to change it, Gloria, online. On the post, you know, like online. I tried to change my address. I mean, not for Barbie Bucks, like at the post office. And you should be able to do that online. And I went through all the things, and then there's no place to put the card number. So their new thing is they're like, okay, you can change your address online, but we have to make sure that your address for your credit card matches where you're trying to move it from or whatever to prove that it's you. And then they want $1.10 or whatever. And I'm like, that's fine. But when I went to put in the card information, there's no place to put the card information. Which I've missed your design book drawings. Randy, change the address right after the live. I know. I'm in so much trouble with everything. It's one of my favorite Thunderhorse things and stuffs. Oh, for doing the design book, I had to call BBB to change it. Oh, good luck, Dorothy. Change it on the site. The post office is crazy. Yeah. So I have to do that. So I had also gone to the lawyer's office because I had to get a North Dakota license, you know, for my business. So I can't be doing business in a state where you're not registered to do business. So that came today, came through. The lawyer messaged me and she said she got all changed up. So we can do that. So technically, Minnesota is an LLC. It's a Minnesota, Thunderhorse Descendant is a Minnesota LLC that is registered to operate in other states. Because I am an online seller, when you meet Nexus, which means you've made 200 sales, like individual sales into a state, or you've sold over 100,000 to 200,000, depending on the state, amount of money. That's how you meet Nexus for tax purposes. Once you do that in a physical year, you then have to register in that state to do business. So since I would have to do that anyways, once I meet those thresholds, which by the way, I'm not meeting those thresholds right now, but we're over time, since some of you guys live in the same state, that will happen. Like North Carolina, we have a number of people who live in North Carolina, and once you get 200 transactions into a state, it was pretty close last year. Or was it South Carolina? It was one of the Carolinas. Then you'll have to register to do business in that state. So regardless, I'm just going to stay a Minnesota company. So what happens with that, which is solely legal and everything. But that's why I went to the lawyer, because a lot of companies start their companies in Delaware, because Delaware has like some weird business laws that people get like breaks and stuff on. And I had heard about that. I mean, like big companies, like, you know, like General Mills and like other things like that. I don't really care about any of that. I just went to the lawyer and I was like, I'm going to North Dakota. Can you make this happen? And she was like, absolutely. So her and Kyle are on it. My bargain bead box is supposed to get here today. If it is, I will do an unboxing on my live tomorrow. Oh, wonderful, Rosanna. Mine too. Back up and running. Good for you. You guys, you know what I think we should do? I just had an idea. I gotta stop having ideas. I don't even have anything set up. Never mind. I know you're crazy busy with your move, but the June FOC is all sold out. I couldn't find it on the website. Eve, no. It's going to post today. So me and Phyllis did get the June FOC ready. I was going to post it before I started this live, but I'm on Jeff's computer and I couldn't remember my password to get into the thing. So I have to set my computer up, and then once I do that, I can go into and put it online. There's great tax benefits for Delaware. Yes, that's true. Let's hear your idea. My idea was, I was thinking, since more of us are getting YouTube channels, so there's me and there's Rosanna and there's Heather and there's Gina, and I think there was some other people who were thinking about getting some YouTube channels. I was thinking, just roughly in my head, like maybe it would be beneficial to us to do like bargain bead box things, like videos, not together, but kind of together, like kind of in accordance, because doing all those videos can be a lot of work, right? And like, if you don't coordinate with people, you could end up making the same kind of things or whatever, and then that's repetitive if you have kind of the same audience. And I just thought, oh, maybe it'd be nice, and then it's like, on this day you could go over here and see this, and on this day you could do this. Or even better, we could design it, send it to somebody else, and ask them to make it. That would be fun. Anyways, my brain is just, it does that. You got to watch out for that. Also, I saw that Bargain Bead Box posted up on Facebook that they're doing basically bead drops, basically. They're doing bead drops on Monday as well. I saw that this morning on Facebook. They're not calling it bead drops. They're calling it something else. I can't remember what it is. Sneak peeks for their website. That would be fun. Yeah, but that means that the people who have YouTube channels would have to want to do that. And they probably might not want to do that. Because being a beady person on YouTube is really a lot of work. I don't know if you guys know that. A group designing video? Yeah, well, Rosanna and Heather were telling me that they did the Zoom, or not the Zoom, what do you guys call it? The beady friends, the friend bead share thing. They did that. They figured out how to do that. Beading besties. And I don't know if they can teach me how to do that, because I don't know how to do that. Like, get all the cameras in line. Bargain Bead Box has been doing the weekly sneak peeks for a few months now. Yep. I've seen that too. Definitely. Yep. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. But, well, I'm going to set my computer up. We're going to figure it out. I don't know how to do that. But whatever. We'll figure something out. I was supposed to do a bead drop today, but guess what? I'm not ready. I thought I was going to be ready, and I got everything sorted, and I got everything priced, and me and Phyllis sorted it. Phyllis actually came in a couple of days after she was already like done to like help with some things, and of course I paid her for that. And so we got it ready, but I didn't get it posted. So that happened. I got photos, but I didn't get it posted. I am excited, speaking of cameras, so I gave Amber the old bat phone. What? I still have the seats left on StreamYard. Oh, Heather, I was talking to Jeff about that, and I told him what you told me about StreamYard, and he was like, that's crazy. I am ready to get into this YouTube thing. Kim is? Kim's almost ready to get into YouTube. Yeah! Come join us, Kim. I want Gloria to get into... Where are you at, Gloria? Brandy and Jefferson t-shirts. Just losing excessive weight. No, this is Jefferson's t-shirt. I wish, but no. This is Jefferson's t-shirt. My clothes, I have a jump bag somewhere. I'm just really out of it for the most part for right now. I will probably be out of it for, I'm going to say till the 4th of July. You hit the video button in the messenger. Softflex and sorry, I can't, this thing kind of cuts the comments off. I gotta move it over. Softflex and Great Bead Extravaganza do it quarterly. The Great Bead Extravaganza. What are they doing quarterly? No, I'm not even on live chat. Hello, Randy. Let's get it together. If I missed some of you during all of this, it's because I was not on live chat because I'm a crazy person. You're way more together than I would be. Well, we have talked about this. When I say we, I mean me and Rosanna have talked about it before. So, I don't know if Heather has done it, but I have done it and I know Rosanna's done it. Where we've done the bead extravaganza with Softflex and Jesse James beads and all them and all that stuff. And we had talked about it in years past and we were like, why don't we just do our stuff, right? Which is why we do our stuff together because, I mean, because we're smaller. And we were just like, if they can do stuff, we can do stuff, right? So that's what we did. I'm a crazy person too. I wasn't on live chat either. Right? Yeah. You'll get fireworks on the 4th of July. I'm hoping, so even Jeff was like, we were sitting here talking last night and he was like, I think by 4th of July, we'll have the apartment together. With like, cause I don't know if you guys saw my design plans for my beachy, coastal beachy cottage core situation that I want to do for the apartment. But I got like, in my head, I want to do like floating shelves on the wall by the TV, do a TV, new TV stand. I'm gonna bring the couch up and make the living room smaller. And then put a table behind the couch. And then I'm going to put our dining room table behind the couch. Because it was like long rectangular living room, which is really weird. So I'm going to make that into the dining room and the living room. And we have blue velvet couches. So we're doing coastal cottage business. And just got to do all that. I'm going to buy this thing for like out in the kitchen where you can like sit and put your shoes on. Because we won't have a table there or whatever. Because that's kind of where the pets are, all their pet dishes and stuff are out there. Oh, speaking of which, I will be accepting any advice you have about cat boxes. Because I do have cat boxes in a significantly smaller space now. And I do plan on cleaning them every day. Just because I don't like the smell. But like, I don't generally use I don't use like fragranted litter or like any of those things because I just don't feel like they're good for cats, but maybe there's like some some holistic things I could try. I don't know. Or I could just burn a lot of sage, I guess. The egg is automatic. Do you have an egg, Debbie? I heard I was going to try that, but I got scared because one lady said that her cat got hung up in it. like on accident, I think. But anyway, yeah, so the moral of this story, which you're not even going to guess, is the June FOC bags are ready, and I am going to post them whenever I get my computer put together. Today, tomorrow, something like that. Normally I would be like all freaked out. I do have orders in my queue. I was telling Rosanna last night, she called me and I was like, yeah, I got orders in my queue and I got to get my stuff together. But the movers are going to bring my stuff. So hopefully by today, this whole room will be covered in totes. And then we can do the dang thing. So let me show you. I got my phone hooked up. This is my new phone. Oh, I forgot to tell you about how I broke my phone. Yeah, threw it across the room, broke it. Not on purpose. I was walking and I had it in my hand and I hit my hand on like the counter of the kitchen and I was like, ow, and I let go and the phone went flying across the room into the sink, into like over by the sink, and I picked it up and the screen was all shattered and I'm just like, of course it is. Lily. What you doing? Uh-oh. You sleeping by the heater? She's like, it's been a long day. Please don't bother me. So we have these giant mirrors here. This is what the room looks like. And then giant tapestry with elephants, which Jeff bought this out at TF from Jeff, which is funny. Is this the one he bought or is this what Amber gave him? No, this is the one he bought. And he had it on his ceiling for the longest time, but I really like it because I collect elephants. I used to say that my grandma collected elephants and I would just buy her all the elephants. And then Jeff was like, no, Randy. He was like, your grandma collects bunny rabbits and chickens and you collect elephants and you just keep them at her house. And I was like, oh. So, anyway, these are my elephants. And it's got a big tree of life, which is fun. Jeff's got to get his guitar straightened out. He told me he's going to start writing country songs. That's his new goal. I'm surprised he even has that up there. But yeah, so this is the room. This is the doings. This is the doings. This is the doings. What? I missed something. I use baking soda in my cat litter box. My kitties are barn cats, so they don't do indoor business. I would have thrown my phone. 9. What? Hi, Lily. Were there drunk guys and donation issues? Yeah, there was. So I got this new phone. Oh, so that was a whole endeavor. I went down to the phone store and I was like, hey, I broke my phone. Now, mind you, I used to have a, what was it? It was a Samsung S10. It was old. I had it for like 8 years or whatever. And when I bought my phone in Minneapolis and I just pay for the phone. Like I don't rent the phone or whatever they do where they like add money to your bill. I just buy the phone. So my phone was paid off. And so the guy's like, oh, you haven't gotten a phone in like a million years. Have two. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, they're small. Have two. So he gave me 2 free phones. So they're both this one, which is, so I have both of them right here. This one I'm not using yet because it doesn't have a case. And I'm afraid I'm going to break it. I've already almost broke this one this morning. Threw it on the floor and then spilled my water on it after I threw it on the floor because it scared me. And then I spilled my water on it. And I was like, guess we're going to find out today. But anyway, this is the same one. It is a, what is this? It's a Samsung 25 or some dang thing. I don't know. Settings. About this phone. This is a Galaxy S24 FE. And I got 2 of them. Buy an OtterBox phone case. I know, they're like $60 or something. This one was $40. And I was like, well. But then after I threw it on the floor and dumped water on it, I was like, gee, I hope that $40 I spent really holds up. So yeah, I got the phone. So the guy was like, yeah, you can have this phone, 2 phones. He's like, have 2. So I was like, well, if I'm going to get 2 for free, that's fine. So I did. And I gave the old bat phone, I mean, not the number and everything. That's all still here. But I gave the actual phone to Amber because she's still taking photos of my jewelry. And that one had a really good camera on it, which is why we bought it for Shannon, right? So, I got my phones at the T-Mobile store. I would have thrown my phone if there were drunk guys and donation issues. My keyboard doesn't like me this morning. Oh, no. I know. I told Jeff not to put that over there. We're not turning the heat on. We've got all... Lily just fell asleep and kicked herself in the nose. Lily, you're so tired? She says, oh, Mama, I'm so tired. It's been a day. It's been just a bunch of things. Okay, go back to sleep. It's okay. I'll check it out. Yeah. So the camera on this phone seems really good. It's got like the 3 whatevers. I don't know. I haven't really even had time to like deep dive into it. I guess I'll find out when I take my first round of product photos. But I'm like, well, it must be better than the last one, right? Because isn't that how it goes? Ow. So anyway, I gave the other phone to Amber, and if you're wondering about switching phones, just in case you are, because there's a lot of people who don't know this, there's an app. What's the name of the app? Smart Switch. Smart Switch is the name of the app. So like, if you want to get a new phone and you just want to like say you have somebody who has a phone, or you want to use just like their upgraded whatever, because I find it ridiculous that we're buying $800 phones and then we're like, well, we're done with this now. I don't understand. So anyway, so if you have a phone or you get a newer phone from someone and they don't want it or whatever the heck, it's really easy to do. You download the app. It's called Smart Switch. And it's just an app that everybody uses. You take your phone case off, you pop open, there's a little, when you get a phone or whatever, it has this little key, and it's just like, it's basically like a stick pin. You stick it in there, it's going to pop open, it's got a little tiny chip, and that's what runs all your stuff on your phone. That little chip is what is like your phone number, what you're paying for through the company, your photos and everything is on that chip or whatever. You take that chip, you put it in the new phone, and then you do the Switch app, and you just put the phones next to each other, and it'll prompt you to like, it'll be like, oh, scan the other phone thing and say yes to this and accept the whatever, and then it'll just transfer all of your stuff so you don't have to mess around with stuff. In case you're wondering, because I did that for Amber on her phone, on the phone I gave her. I set it back to factory settings before I gave it to her, which is a thing you can do in the app, in the phone. And then I transferred all her stuff onto the new phone, onto the quote-unquote old bat phone, because it was newer than her other phone, which is ancient, and now she has a better camera. Hello! How are you doing? T-Mobile, I will check it out. I am Apple Girl. I just have to hold the new phone up to the old one and everything transfers. There you go. So this is basically, yes, like an Apple thing, except for Samsung. Except for you got to download the app. That's it. You just put them next to each other and then it just does it. And then it lets you know when it's done. It says, okay, we're done. And then you're good to go. I let them purchase it right when I get the new phone. Well, yeah, because the guy told, well, and the thing about that was I recently, so my phone that I had that I broke, I'd had that for like 8 years. But the bat phone we bought for Shannon because of the camera, and we bought that like a year ago or 2 years, like 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago. So it was new. It was newer, and I didn't want to just get rid of it because it was like an $800 phone. And I was like, what am I going to do with this phone? And they were like, no, we don't want it. So I'm just like, that seems weird to me. And he's like, well, you can sell it. You could like, set it back to factory settings and sell it or whatever. And I'm just like, So I just gave it to Amber. Not bad. Oh, you're itchy. Other news. Okay, other news. So for the remainder of the week this week, I think for morning coffee, which I will be doing, it's going to be more of a lifestyle vlog over here for a while. I don't know that we'll have any beads to look at or a desk to put them on or anything like that, but we're working on it. Okay? So that's what we're doing. Maybe I'll have some progress to show you tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, so it's going to be weird. That's the moral story. It's just going to be weird. It's okay. It's weird and you like it. You're going to like it. We're going to do weirdness for a while and it'll be good. I have an iPhone 12. Try to hold on to it. Yeah, it's going to be a work in progress. Good afternoon, Helen. Yeah, we're definitely a work in progress for a while. If you're sitting, is there like, I see this little black dot, but I think it's just on the screen. If you are sitting in your bead room or wherever you are with your beads, and I just want you to just look around at your beads and just imagine you have to pack them all up and move them and then put them back together. So that's where I'm at. That's where my headspace is. Overwhelmed. That's fine. I can do it. I do know I have to go down today to the post office, or not the post office, the UPS store and get my 80 million packages. They're probably like, this was a bad idea. We shouldn't have let this lady rent a box, because I bet you I got a whole shelf just waiting for me. I do not want to imagine that. Weird's the new normal. Yeah, we're doing it. You can donate to the Women's Battered Shelter. They really need them. Oh, your old phone? I never thought of that. Do they have like a thing online or something that you can do? I'm sure they must. Yeah. Well, I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad plan. Because otherwise, what are you doing with all these phones? You got all these phones, you don't throw them away, right? Like, I don't know. It's weird. I told my husband I want to convert our daughter's bedroom into my bead room. Yeah! Well, you're going to need a bead room when you get going on your YouTube channel, Kim. Yeah. So, other than that, I don't have much to report. Me and Lily went for a walk up on the hill today. I shared that in the Facebook group, a little video of us being up on our hill. So, for those of you who are like, oh, you moved Lily to an apartment. Yes, I did move Lily to an apartment, but she has a whole prairie to herself right out the back door here with walking trails. So we're good. And remember, we're going to start our walking to Jeff's work. Any phone, if it is charged, will dial 911. My beads are in the work office. It's getting overrun with beads. Hi, Carrie. I trade my phones in so I get money off the new phone. But I am an Apple girl. Yeah. I know some people like the Apple because you can do like what? You can do it all connects, like your phone and your tablet and your computer and your laptop or whatever, your watch and all your things. Yeah. Honestly, I just never got into it because I'm like, I'll just find a workaround. I don't want to pay all that money. The workarounds were not so good back in the day. They're getting better now. Did you tell me, Heather? Sorry, I didn't see it. Getting a second line for beaded bliss. Oh. Donate my old phones to the Salvation Army. Oh, that's another good place for them. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you can trade your phones in, like, even if it's not Apple, you can, like, if you have a phone. But the thing is, like, I generally keep my phones forever. I'm like that person who, like, buys a car, and I'm like, we'll just drive it till the wires start on fire, or the tires fall off, or whatever. That's me. So I'm not, like, a traded-in girl, because if you're going to trade it in, you gotta, like, do it kind of soon. Like, you only have it for, like, a year or two, maybe, or something, and then you trade it in, because then otherwise it's not worth anything. You know? At least that's how it is with these guys. With, like, the Samsung guys. Because I feel like... I don't know. It just boggles my mind that there's so much money. And then, like, you just use them for a little while. And then you're like, okay, I'm done with this. And then it's like, well, what do you do with it? Like, I'm surprised there's not, like, a better system of, like, we take your phone. Like, why would it... Okay, like, changing your oil. You go... You have them change your oil at the Valvoline. They take the old oil, they dispose of it. Like, this is a process. I'm like, why would they take your old phone and, like, they, like, set it back to factory settings and, like, give it to the Salvation Army or wherever and be, like, donating to good causes. Like, why are they not doing that? Like, why isn't that, like, part of the system? Weird. Heather, how many puppies do you have? What kind of puppies are they? They sell them. Oh, yeah, they, like, factory resell them. Refurbished, yeah. Yeah, that's right. And I also don't know how I feel about refurbished items. I was thinking about getting a refurbished laptop, and I'm like, I don't know. Although, the new laptop that I got from Walmart, the Sussy Gen X one, which I think is funny, is really good. I like it a lot for what I'm doing. So that's cool. And it's really small and, like, thin. Shih Tzu puppies. 2 boys and a girl. Oh, my. I had a Shih Tzu puppy a long time ago with my second husband. And he took it when he left. Her name was Molly. Yeah. And she was really needy, and she was small, and she would, like, try to sleep on your throat. And I was like, you are too much for me. But I've never really been in small dogs. Jefferson was like, oh, maybe we should get a small dog. And I'm like, I was thinking we would get a new... I wanted to get 2 white Pyrenees dogs for the llamas. Not the llamas, for the alpacas. You had more than one husband? Yes, I had 2 husbands. 2 husbands. My first husband's name was James. And my second husband's name was Sheldon. James was a soldier. We got married when I was 18, and we got divorced. He was in the war, and it was not good. So he got lost a lot for, like, a long time, and then he became a sexual predator. And so, that had to go. And then my second husband, Sheldon, he was in recovery, and then he relapsed, and then that was the end of that. I came home from work one day, and he was writing on the walls in a language he had made up in his head. I was like, okay. All that happened by the time before I even met Jeff. Actually, yeah, me and Sheldon were just getting divorced when I met Jeff. I was 23 then. Yeah, stay away from him, Rosanna. I'm telling you. You need to do Beating Besties on Sunday night. Well, you want to hear my story? I got all kinds of stories. All the more reasons to appreciate Jefferson. Yeah, I was just telling Jefferson the other day. I was like, you know what's crazy? And we've just been like doing this since we were 23. I said since I was 23. Jeff's 25 when he met me. But I was like, do you remember when we moved to our first apartment? Because, the only time me and Jeff fight is when we're doing apartment moving, or moving in general. It doesn't have to be apartments, just moving. The first time we moved in together in Grand Forks was fine. And then we moved to a different apartment, which was okay. We moved out of that apartment. We moved to Minnesota is when I decided I'm never moving with Jefferson Ham ever again. And then... And then we moved again because I was living in the dorms, and then I got us a house because I was going to college. So I got us a house. So then we moved again into St. Croix. Then we moved into the cities. That was the whole thing. Then we moved out of the cities into the house, and now we moved out of the house. This one was pretty okay. Like, with the movers, at least we didn't have to carry everything, so there was that. We'll see how it goes today. We're going to see how these guys are today. I'm hoping it doesn't rain. It says... So then also when we moved, it rained the whole time. Not while they were packing the truck, but like when I was driving. Rain, wind, 65 mile an hour wind, 6 miles a gallon in the 26-foot truck. Yeah. We did a ceremony for our old house. We did a smudging and we did a ceremony. And that was really nice. I really like that. What else? So those guys are supposed to come today, and here's the thing. Maybe I'll take a little video later today, but I will show you the situation. So the situation is this apartment that we're in is on a hill. The driveway is literally, it's probably not 90 degrees, but it's like 75 degree angle because it's on a hill. The moving truck is not going to get up the hill. I could barely get up the driveway in my van, let alone in the moving truck. And even if they got up here, it's not going to fit because they have all this parking up here, and they have the cars parked really strangely. I'll show you a photo. I'll take some photos and share them in the group. And so you got to park on the street with the truck. So you got to park on the street, walk up the 70-degree hill to the front steps, and then go up 3 flights of stairs because we live on the top floor. They're really not going to like us a lot. They got to carry all my beads up here. All my beads, all my shipping supplies, my desk, all that stuff. And I'm just like, sorry. Moving is enough to make anybody fight. I know. Oh my goodness. Yes. Well, I don't know about if I can figure out how to do it. What do we do? We just talk about stuff? Do we do beading? I don't even know if I can do beading. Maybe. I don't even know if I can do beading on my own show. They will make their money. Yeah, they're going to earn their money today. And let me tell you, it's pretty good money. It's pretty good money, so I don't feel too bad about it, but I do kind of still. I'm just like, I'm trying to send you happy songs. Thank you. I hate moving, and I still haven't unpacked most of my beads. Donna. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that I can figure out how to get everything to fit in this room. We shall see. Over the course of the next week, that's what we're going to be trying to do. We're going to be organizing. So maybe if you need a little, what do you want to call it? Help? If you need a little, I can't think of the word. If you need a little help getting motivated to do your organization, that's what we're going to do this week. My husband and I fought some when we moved too, and I told him that I was not moving again unless with a company. Pay for packers and movers, and I won the battle. Yeah, that's kind of how we ended up in this situation, Kim. It's just like, I'm not doing this. You can do this by yourself. Literally, when we moved from the Robbinsdale apartment to the house, I packed everything, but I didn't move anything. I was just like, nope, you and Tyler could move all this. I'm not doing it because you guys are mean. Because they get mean. You know how they do? Jefferson he hasn't been like that in a while, but it's like, that was like years ago. Like when we moved out of North Dakota is when I decided I wasn't moving with him because he was mean to me. And I just decided our relationship, for the sake of our relationship, it would just not be good. So I just refused to do it. And he can't make me. Our next 3 moves are fully paid for. Yay! That's good. This one was kind of expensive. I don't know. Jeff paid for it. But I bought all the tubs. That was a good $600 for tubs. But everybody was like, why are you buying? Yeah, they get snappy. Yeah, I wouldn't say me. Yeah, they get snappy. And they're like, just do it like this. And I'm like, I would if I wasn't 5'2". But I am, so I cannot lift this desk over my head. I'm sorry. I'm too short. And I'm not strong enough. Yeah. I gotta lock up the animals, yeah. That's the truth. When the other people came, we put the cats in their cat carriers, and they did not like that at all. Oh, and Winter was very upset that Mr. Bunsen had been out all night. I think he had been out with some other cats, because he came in the house and she was smelling him, and she just smelled him and she went, meow, which she never does, which I thought was very interesting. And then she was hissing at him and beating him up for like the whole day. And I was like, oh, Mr. Bunsen, you must have been somewhere you shouldn't have been. That's what happens. This is the consequences of your behavior. But yeah, I'll have to put them in their cat carries. And then Lily, she's just so tired. I was just dreaming. Maybe I will put her, I'll probably just take her outside. Maybe I'll probably just take her out for a walk. It shouldn't take them that long to get everything in the house. Jeff said he's coming home from work today, early, hopefully. So I don't know. Hi, Nikki. Yes. Well, yes. And I like the tubs. The tubs were expensive, but also, and my family was like, why are you getting tubs? Blah, 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 this and that. And I'm like, well, because I'm going to move multiple times, It's not like I'm just going to move here and then that's it. Like, these things have to be in storage for like a year in a, what do you call that? Not a heat regulated storage, just like a regular storage locker. And I have a lot of little stuff. That's the other thing. Jeff was like, why are you putting boxes inside of the totes? Because I have like our little plastic totes, Randy's Life in Tubs, the little totes. And I'm like, well, these ones are beads that go in the inventory. And these ones are beads that haven't been photographed yet. And these ones are, he's like, never mind. I'm like, thank you. Not climate controlled. Yeah. Was Mr. Bunsen cheating? I think he might have been thinking about it or something, because she was mad. I've never seen her so mad. And then she would just smell him and she'd just open her mouth like this. And then she would just hiss. I was just like, oh, what have you been doing, Mr. Bunsen? So I don't know. Anyways, you guys, that's what I got going on today. So I'm going to jump off here, and then I've got like 2 hours I'm going to try to like get all this dirty clothes and stuff out of here so they can set the stuff up. And I got to move my van up to the top so I can try to attempt to get my computer out of there. Yeah, there is a method to my madness. So anyways, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with something. We'll be doing organizing something. This will probably be filled with totes tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. I hope you all have a lovely, spectacular, amazing beating day. Wish me all the luck in trying to get organized and what have you. And I'll see you in the morning.